Welcome to another episode of Silk Sessions After Hours Unfiltered. Oh Lord, I'm choked up. I'm your girl, MemeMichelle, your hairstylist, your author, and your podcaster. Thank you so much for tuning in. Now I want you to get involved. I want you to ask the good questions. I want you to leave your comments and subscribe. Subscribe to my channel because you know we have a good time over here. Now I know there was not an episode yesterday, but I just don't want to overwhelm y'all. I don't want to overdo it, but it's my bad. I'm sorry. I was just tired. Do y'all know I slept all day? I gotta stop taking these old peoply naps. Now, today was Monday. I was supposed to do laundry. I was supposed to do all the things. And y'all, I was asleep. But let me tell y'all why I was asleep. So y'all know I go to church on Sunday mornings, and I had to lead worship, and this affected me and my solo. So in summer, I noticed last year when I moved here, summertime, my neighbors, they party on Saturday, okay? And they party till like 3 o'clock in the morning. Well, I go to church on Sunday morning, and I couldn't go to sleep. And by the time I fell asleep, it was time to wake up. So I'm gonna have to politely ask my neighbors, can they tone it down just a little taste so I can get some sleep, okay? Because I can't be jacking up my solos because they are on the www World Wide Web. Yes, I go to the Church Without a Wall and we stream live, okay? And I was on the little struggle bus, but anywho. Today's cocktail for conversation is Seven Daughters by Taraji P. Henson. Now, I've had this on Silk Sessions After Dark before, but I decided I didn't want to really make a cocktail. And since this is going to be a two-part series, so you will see half of this episode today and half of it tomorrow, I will use this to make a good little cocktail because I'm not going to drink this whole bottle of wine tonight. And you see this pretty glass? They said this is a red wine goblet, but I drink out of what I like. And a really good friend of mine dropped this set off to me today. She dropped off this set. She dropped off a set of margarita glasses, which I'm grateful. I wish I'd have got some martini glasses. Not from her, but just period. Because I broke one of my good martini glasses today washing them. And in honor of her, I'm going to have my wine and my cocktail for tomorrow out of this glass because she is relocating for a new job, and we are really going to miss you. I'm not going to say her name because, you know, I ask permission for things like that. I ain't that kind of host. So you know who gave it to me. You know who you are, and I thank you. I miss you, and I love you. And you're not moving that far. You're just 3 hours away. So I promise to visit. So cheers to you. This is a Moscato. Now, I normally don't even like Moscato because Moscato tastes like the Kool-Aid, but this one is good. So. So delish. All right. We're going to get this party started. So the reason I say it's going to be a two-part episode because I have a lot on the list. And if I put everything on the list, it's going to be well over an hour. So I'm going to break that thing in half, okay? So let's see what we're going to start talking about first. So I'm flipping through my channels, right? Because I needed something to watch. And I noticed on Prime Video that the Michael movie was available for purchase. Now, what I don't like about purchasing your movies and music and stuff is what if you cancel your Amazon Prime? Where does your movie go? Because, you know, back in the day, we used to get like hard copies. Where does your movie go? So I think if you cancel your membership, you lose your movie. But anywho, ooh, Lord, I'm be burping early. Anywho, I bought that thing. I did not rent Michael. I bought it, and it was still just as good as when I went to go see it at the movies. And if I'm not mistaken, I remember it was going to be on Stars or HBO Max or something, and I guess it was making so much money at the movie theater that disappeared. So Michael has made the most money ever for them, and it's still growing, still growing. So I know it's in the $1 billion or really close to the $1 billion mark. Because to purchase it online, okay, to rent it online is $19.99. Well, to go to the movies, it was $20, 20 plus a ticket. It was 15 or 16 for the kids. So to purchase it, it was like $25. And how many people purchased it? And let me tell you, I was one of them people. And baby, when he got to the part where he was like, dun, 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 dun. Oh, I cried. I got emotional. I get chill bumps every time I watch it. Why? I don't know. I don't know if it brings back a time in my life where I remember when that particular album, Off the Wall, came out. I don't know if it's his journey trying to be independent or how he was so innocent yet so talented. He was a musical genius. And he was an amazing businessman. And he loved really hard. He felt like he was taken advantage of. You know, when you become a superstar at a very young age, you do lose your childhood. Like when me and my sister used to sing together, we had a group called SGT. I know I told y'all about that. Satisfaction Guaranteed. Don't laugh at us. We was good, real good. We won many talent shows, and we went in front of many record labels, okay? But I always told her, I was like, you know the reason why we didn't make it? Now, my sister went on to do big things. She sang for many big stars. I'm just going to give you her name. You can Google her for yourself. Her name is Montina, Montina. She is the GOAT in my eyes and the best to ever do it. But I digressed. I said, God saved us because the industry is a lot. And from the background we come in, and I was a partier, honey. I ain't saying I was going to be doing the cocaine and all that. No, that's not what I'm saying. But I'd have probably had one too many sips because, you know, you're accessible to a lot of things when you're young. And I was grounded, but not like that. Who knows? And then the girls that was in our group, Lord, one of them babies would have probably been dead. You know who I'm talking about because it was 4 of us. And she was talented, but she was fast, honey. And ain't no telling where our lives would have been if we would have been. Now, I probably would have went on to acting and all sorts of things because that's just me. It's just who I am. But I'm just grateful. I'm grateful to God, even though we were talented. God knows where we would have been if our group would have took off. But it just wasn't for us. At least not in that time. But I got to thinking, when I looked at the Michael movie and I looked at the Earth, Wind, and Fire documentary, they had 2 things that were similar, that they had in common. Maurice White used to manifest. Michael Jackson used to manifest. I will be this and I will be that, and my music will do this and my music will do that. But it was 2 things they had in common that neither one of them did. They asked for success, they manifested success, but they didn't manifest health. They didn't manifest protection. They didn't put on their full armor of God every day. It was just certain things that they didn't ask for and they weren't covered. So, Lord, I'm asking for all the things because, as y'all know, Camille, The Rebirth of a Reckoning, comes out Thursday and it comes out Friday on Kindle. And I'm asking for all the things. Yes, sell millions. I need to sell millions. I need the trilogy to sell millions. But I also want to be prepared. I also want to be protected. I also want to be cared for and comforted by God. I also want to be ready because it's going to be some friends that come out the woodworks, honey, that I ain't never, ever seen when my books start taking off. And I'm like on book number 9. Yeah, because I'm working on a new book. So y'all go out. Let me just show y'all. So y'all make sure we break the internet. We want to put Amazon in a chokehold on Thursday. Okay, I want y'all to go ahead. If you don't have the other 3 books, I want y'all to buy all 4. If you have the other 3 books, because if you don't have the other 3 books, this one ain't gonna make no sense. Still gonna be good, but you need to know about Dr. Dirty Dick. You need to know about the night shift at Hope Central. You need to know about the second dose of deception, baby. You need to know about the second dose of deception, the reckoning, because this one picks up where that one left off. Okay? And speaking of a correlation, you got to watch The Polygamist. Have y'all watched The Polygamist? Okay, I didn't know that The Polygamist. Okay, so let me stop. I'm moving too fast. The Polygamist is a series on Netflix. I did not know that The Polygamist was a book. So y'all know I got to get the book. I want to read the book because if that was that good, it had me in a chokehold, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It had me in a chokehold. Let me get this mic right. So I don't know what made me start watching it. Okay, because I had already did all my episodes of Silk Sessions After Hours Unfiltered. I had some time on my hand. I figured, it's 9 o'clock. I'll watch till like 10:30 and pick up tomorrow. It was 4 o'clock in the morning, and I was 11. I was 11 episodes in. That shit had me in a chokehold. I couldn't stop watching. And then I was like, okay, you see, when I liked it, I told the world, I posted it on my social. That's what I need y'all to do with my books. If you read it and you like it and you think it's good, tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell everybody. But I digress. Let's get back to The Polygamist. That ish was everything. When I say everything, it had twists, it had turns, it's some stuff I figured out, and some stuff I was like, but the wife was cold-blooded, but the husband was cold-blooded too. Y'all got to watch it. I'm not telling y'all nothing, because I think if you pay for Netflix, you don't need to know what's going on. You need to see it for yourself. All right, so, we talked about The Polygamist. We talked about, we got to get into this. But before I get to that, I did talk about the book coming out on Thursday, and I did an interview today, an interview on Instagram Live. It was on my page. If you didn't get the opportunity to see it, I will share the link so you can watch it. It was a really good interview, and I'm so grateful. And I was interviewed by Julia, and she has the Black Candle Maker Club and University. Now, it's not just about black candle makers. She has the most amazing candles. I used to have one up here, and I told her I need a new vessel because I think I just want me a big vessel to sit on the table and have that thing lit while we do the show. But it's about a community of entrepreneurs that do a bunch of everything. You got people who make soap, you got people who make detergent, you have people who make jewelry, you have business women. It's just all sorts of people who are part of this university. And I was asked to be interviewed today, and it was so amazing. And I can't wait for y'all to see it. All right, moving on. Y'all know I'm about that music. Y'all know I'm about the history of music. And Clive Davis passed today. I wrote down some things. Clive Davis was an American executive, A&R executive, record producer, and a lawyer. He started off as a lawyer. He won 5 Grammys and was inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a non-performer in 2020. From 1967 to 1973, Davis was president of Columbia Records. Clive Davis was also one of the most influential record moguls in the music history and was the mastermind behind careers such as Whitney Houston, Barry Manilow, Earth, Wind & Fire, Alicia Keys, just to name a few. He was also the one who revised Aretha Franklin's career and funded Puff Daddy's Bad Boy Records. Now, I am sure that there's a documentary, because there already was a documentary, but that documentary wasn't doing it for me. I know it's a documentary or a movie already in the works, baby. And I need that thing to be good because there were so many things that we all have heard about Mr. Clive Davis. And I know because that was cold-blooded when Whitney passed. And she was in that hotel still, and they had a party downstairs. I was like, that's a cold-blooded, cold piece. Holy smokes and gee whiz. Cold-blooded. But I'm here for that movie. I'm buying tickets for that. I pray that it comes to the movies. Oh no, just let it come to my TV, okay? Let it be on the Netflix. Oh my God, that is so very good. I might have to get another glass of that. No, because if I get another glass, it's going to be the gone. So rest well, Mr. Clive Davis. No matter what they say about you, you did have an amazing ear for music, and you are a musical genius. To say he started off as it was like a slow rise. It was a slow rise. He just started slow and then worked his way up. So, yeah. 94 gone. But that's a full life. Oh, my phone just bing bonging. He lived a very full life. All right. One more thing. So, former NFL wide receiver Brandon Marshall recently sparked a heated debate online today. So, evidently his son was being disobedient and rude, and he made him wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning. Now, I don't know if this baby was like, they say he was like from the age of 6 to 10. They don't know how old he was, but he woke him up at 2 o'clock in the morning and made him run beside the car for miles. And instead of giving him a whooping for being disobedient, he said, "You're not going to do that." And there were a lot of people who was like, "That's just wrong." And my thing is, I bet he won't end up in jail. There's a more ways to discipline a child than to whoop them. Now, let me tell you a story. It's story time. So, when my nephew, because I told you my sister used to travel, she was on tour with Beyonce at the time, and he stayed with me. I think he may have been like 5 or 6. But between, no, he wasn't. I was married at the time, so he wasn't 5. Yeah, okay, anyway, let me get to the story. So every day, his teacher would tell me when I would go to pick him up that he had been talking and disturbing the class, talking too much, talking. I said, okay. So I picked him up from school, same report. And that's because my nephew was really, really smart. He probably finished his school work early, and then he wanted to talk to the rest of the kids. He liked to crack jokes and all that good shit. He's my kid. So I said, the next time your teacher tells me something about you, I'm not going to spank you. I'm going to give you a whooping for breakfast. I guess he didn't pay attention. So I get to the school. Yep, that's wine. I'm getting a hot flash. I get to the school. She tells me he had been talking and disturbing the class. I say, okay. We leave. He think I'm going to give him a spanking. No. What I did was I took him to eat. I took him to play games. I made him his favorite dinner. And then we watched movies. He was like, wow. And when he woke up, I used to get him to make his own breakfast to give him a sense of, independence. So there were pancakes in the freezer, or there was sausage on a stick, and I would tell him to take the sausage and stuff or whatever and warm it up. And then on the way to school on a paper plate, he would eat his pancakes and his sausage, or sausage on a stick on the way to school. So he gets up. I said, nope, no breakfast this morning. You don't get breakfast this morning. Huh? I said, I told you the next time you acted up in school, I was going to spank you before school, and that would be your breakfast. So I gave him a little tap or whatever. Do you know his teacher never told me anything else ever again? He never got a bad report. She said he was the best in school because he thought about that ass whooping all day. And it wasn't the type of spanking where he couldn't sit down or anything. It was just he was in shock. He couldn't believe that I didn't give him breakfast and I gave him a spanking instead. Sometimes you got to have different tactics to keep these kids under control because he probably already a little boy with a lot of money. So he probably, it's just a different generation. They don't get it. So I bet you he won't act up anymore. He'll think about that run. And he told him if he didn't keep running, if he kept stopping, he was going to have to do 3 miles from their house to the gas station and back. We don't play with our black kids. See, it's a different day and age. It's a different time. It used to be a time where if we were in a grocery store, our kids didn't talk back. Our children said, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, to us. Now, these kids, they all acting the effing same, and I don't get it. So, kudos to you, sir. Yeah, you rather, I bet every time them legs get to wobbling when he get to thinking about he finna say something smart. You know what I mean? So, do I have anything else on the list for today? Because everything else going to be on the list for tomorrow. Let's see. Nope, that's it, that's all. So this is your girl, MemeMichelle, your hairstylist, your author, and your podcaster. Until tomorrow, we doing it big. I love you guys. You've been watching Silk Sessions After Hours Unfiltered. See you tomorrow for part 2. Bye.